Tensions are mounting after the U.S. Navy and the Japanese military conducted bilateral exercises while sailing together in the South China Sea. The USS Gabrielle Giffords and Japan's JS Kashim and Shimayuki met at sea on June 23, where they reportedly practiced and enhanced bilateral interoperability between the two navies. In April, Gabrielle Giffords sailed with JS Terazuki in the Andaman Sea. Rear Admiral Fred Catcher, commander of Expeditionary Strike Group 7, said, "The opportunity to operate with our friends and allies at sea is incredibly important for our combined readiness and partnership. Executing complex maritime skills with our Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force or JMSDF allies allows both of our teams to build on our interoperability and readiness as we maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific." Some of the training exercises included division tactics to practice precision maneuvering and a photo exercise. Commander Dustin T. Lonero, commanding officer of Gabrielle Giffords' Blue Crew, added this exercise is particularly valuable since we are operating with JMSDF trainees. They are the future maritime professionals that our sailors will eventually operate with for years to come. Each exercise gets easier, while increasing in complexity, showing that both of our navies are sharpening our maritime practices with like-minded professionals in the open ocean. The overseas training too reportedly for newly commissioned officers, and the primary objective is to promote seamanship through the various exercises. Rear Admiral Yagi Koji, commander of JMSDF Training Squadron, said that JMSDF newly commissioned officers not only promoted their basic seamanship skill but learned the importance of improving the interoperability between JMSDF and United States Navy. Koji also hoped that the newly commissioned officers understand that the bilateral exercises we did today strengthen partnership with the U.S. Navy, and the partnership would form the basis of promoting security and stability in the region. The South China Sea region is a highly contested territory where it faces rival ownership claims from China, Vietnam, Brunei, Malaysia, the Philippines and Taiwan. Diplomatic relations between the nations, which have laid claim to the islands, are already extremely strained. The recent construction of bunkers on some of the atolls point to China preparing to protection against air or missile strikes, raising the prospect of a conflict which could spark World War III. The islands and surrounding reefs have been the subject of a bitter and long-running territorial dispute, with China, Malaysia, Taiwan, Vietnam and the Philippines all laying claim to parts of the archipelago. This week, Taiwan deployed Marines to the Pratas Islands amid reports China will conduct drills in the area. According to a Ministry of National Defense or MND official, a number of Taiwanese Marines have been deployed to the region as a training mission. China is reportedly planning large-scale beach landing exercises on the islands. The source told Focus Taiwan the mission is aimed at strengthening the defense capabilities as well as improving logistical and equipment maintenance skills of the Taiwanese Coast Guard officers. However, no more information about the number of Marines deployed or how long they will stay were revealed. Relations between the US and China have also become strained over recent weeks due to military action in the region. Last month, Independence-class U.S. Navy littoral combat ships were spotted patrolling the much-disputed region. The U.S. Air Force and Marines conducted training exercises in the area with 3 submarines joining ships and aircrafts in the nearby Philippine Sea. The actions are thought to be a reaction to Chinese harassment of ships drilling for resources in nearby waters. Back in April, 3 U.S. ships joined the Royal Australian Navy frigate HMAS Parramatta and sailed to the region to demonstrate a commitment to keeping the sea open. Meanwhile, about 2,100 kilometers or 1,300 miles to the east, in Beijing, officials are understandably concerned about activity in the South China Sea, especially when the U.S. is present. In a press briefing, China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian urged Japan to maintain its exclusively defense-oriented policy as laid out in its constitution. He said, because of historical reasons, Japan's military security trends have always received the attention of the international community and its Asian neighbors. He urged Japan to earnestly learn the lessons of history and continue to follow the path of peaceful development with concrete actions. After warning that Beijing would not sit idle while the missiles were deployed, in the meantime, China hopes Japan and other countries can take regional peace and stability into consideration, act prudently and say no to the U.S. which wants to deploy intermediate-range missiles on their land so they don't fall victim to a U.S. geopolitical plot in the region. Tensions between China and the U.S. in the South China Sea have been growing, in Japan as one of many Asian nations that have faced Beijing's ire by siding with the U.S. Lian Degui said Beijing would not tolerate intermediate-range missiles being positioned so close to its territory. He said, this is explicitly aimed at China and can be seen as the U.S. preparing for a military confrontation in the future. Relations between China and Japan would collapse if such missiles were deployed on Japanese soil. Japan, like Australia and other countries, have China as their largest trading partner, something that the latter can use to its advantage. In 2017, South Korea agreed to host the U.S. Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System, a sophisticated radar and interceptor missile designed to spot and knock out incoming. China's response was to impose economic sanctions on South Korea and boycott all travel.